यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् व्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं परिशिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतगेशान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेर्यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनी नीकाशवद्वैभवम् श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेराकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणा समुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि गोपिकाजीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव सद्गुरुस्वामिनः जय। The Vedas talk about that Param Brahman in various ways, in various contexts. And in a very divine language, in a language that does not seem natural to humans. It is an alaukika bhasha. In the Bhagavata, we see that these Vedas, which are called as Shrutis, they sing about the glory of the Lord. In the 90th adhyaya of the Dashamaskanda, if I remember right, just like the original Vedas themselves have a unique language, even the stuti that they make towards Bhagavan has its own style. See, the whole of Srimad Bhagavata itself is extremely poetic, is of a high caliber of Samskrita. It is extremely terse. Among those, this chapter where the Vedas praise Bhagavan, called as the Shruti Gita, is even more difficult. If you are just knowledgeable with Samskrita, you would probably not understand anything over there. You would understand the meaning of a few words, uh, just in an isolated manner. It would be so difficult to grasp the contextual meaning of that. Starts as Jaya Jaya, Jahi Yaja, Adi Sabhi Sakrupa. Like that it begins. And that is at the end of Krishna Avatar, at the end of Dashamaskartha that comes. Bhattatri, probably being inspired by that Shruti Gita, posits his 99th Dashaka based very much on the Vedic scriptures, directly from them. Just as the remaining part of Narayaneeyam, where he almost quotes here and there from the Bhagavata, he uses the words from Srimad Bhagavata, and that is a story based upon. Here he bases these verses in the 99th Dashakam mainly on the Rigvedic verses. Bhattatri Swashakha was probably Rigveda. So he bases it on each verse upon some set of Rigvedic mantras. This is his form of giving the Shruti Gita to Bhagavan. In the Bhagavata, the Shrutis themselves, the Vedas themselves, assume they took a form or formlessly, they praise the Bhagavan. Here, Bhattapada takes from the Vedas. He keeps the Vedas as a reference and he composes verses. So here also you will see this 19th Dashaka, from 91 to 100, everything is in Srakthara, the Chandas is Srakthara. And Narayaneeyam is also of a high poetic caliber and the language and Vyagna used is unparalleled. Even there, this 98th Dashakam stands a little apart. You will sense a change of mood, a change of the language, even while you're doing Parayan. That which goes from beautiful, elegant, and probably exotic to something that is terse and something that is very deep and very unique to say. So that is how this has come about to be the 19th Dashakam. And in this Dashakam, Bhattatri kind of lays his philosophical basis for the upcoming 100th Dashakam, which, as we all know, is a Saguna Darshana for him. So this is the background on which the 100th Dashaka rests upon. I will try to, since I do not know the Rigveda, I cannot quote the Rigvedic mantras that each one is associated with. They are Saswara mantras, I will not be able to. Those mantras which are available in Yajurveda, the same as Rigvedic mantras, some of them are overlapping. I will be able to quote with swaras from the Yajurveda. You can go to some other books of Narayan translation where the references to those particular mantras will be given, and those interested can refer to them. We will see how they are so closely related, and how well Patatri brings out those gems from Rigveda. Dashakam 99. विष्णोर्वीर्याणि को वा कथयतु धरणेः कश्चरेणून् मिमीते यस्यैवाङ्घ्रित्रयेण त्रिजगदभिमितं मुदते पूर्णसम्पत् योऽसौ विश्वानि धत्ते प्रियमिह परमं धाम तस्याभियाया त्वद्भक्ता यत्र माद्यन्त्यमृतरसमरन्दस्य यत्र प्रवाहः विष्णोर्वीर्याणि को वा कथयतु. Who can talk or who can measure the glories of Vishnu? And it's a rhetoric question. So yes, who can talk about the glories of Vishnu? Who can measure it? Just as no one can measure the number of particles of sand on earth, kascha renu mimite. Renu means a grain of sand is called renu. On the whole wide earth, if you were to give the task of measuring the number of grains of sand to someone, it would be an impossible task. Similar is the impossibility of recounting the glories of Vishnu. There is a beautiful stotra more prevalent in the northern parts of India called as the Shiva Mahimna Stotra by Pushpadanta. They are talking about the glories of Parameshwara. He writes a verse, Asita Girisamam Syat Kajjalam Sindhupatre Surataruvar Shakha Lekhani Patramurvi Yedi Likhati Grihitva Sharada Sarvakalam Tadapitava Gunanam Ishaparam Nayati Asita Girisamam Syatu. Sita means that which is white is Sita. Sita is black. Asita Giri. Sita Giri refers to Himalayas. Asita Giri is the Mandara Parvata. The Meru Parvata, Mandara Parvata as we call it, is Asita Giri. So he brings out a beautiful Utpreksha. To write something, you need a particular ink and an ink pot and something to write it with, and a person to write with. You need all these things. So he imagines. So I want to write, or somebody wants to write about the glory of Parameshwara. How do I begin? The Mandara Parvata itself, let me mash it and put it in water to make some ink. That is the Kajjala. Kajjala is the thing that you use to make ink. Asita Giri Samam Syat Kajjalam. Sindhu Patre, where do you put it? In the whole huge ocean you put it, so that you make ink out of it. Sindhu Patre, you need something to write it with, you need a pen. Small feathers or ink pens will not work. So let us take the Kalpa Vriksha that is there in the heavens, huge Vriksha. Let us take the branches from it and continue writing. Surataru Varashakha. Some of the best branches of the Kalpa Vriksha we will take and begin writing. Where would you write? You need some place to write it. Leaves are not enough. Lekhani Patramurvi. Urvi means the earth. Landmass. Let us take all the landmass put together to write it down. You use the ink pot as the Samudra, the ink as Mandara Parvata. Take the Kalpa Vriksha's branch and write it on the ground. So much space is available. Then you need a person who pens it down, a writer. Who can we call for writer? Yadhi likhati grihitva sharada. Let us call upon the goddess of learning, Saraswati herself. And when should she write? Should she write for an hour a day, a couple of hours a day? Sarvakalam. All the time, let her keep writing. Let her continuously keep writing about the glories of Parameshwara. Tadapitava gunanam isha param nayati. Even then, we will not go beyond. It will never end. You cannot say, she cannot say, Saraswati cannot say that she has finished writing all the glories of the Lord. It is not possible for her to say that. Then what will I say? Is what he, Pushpadanta, beautifully puts across in that Shiva Mahimna Stotra. Similar is the idea here by Bhattatri. Vishnur Viryani Kova Kathayatu. Who can talk about the great glories of Lord Vishnu? Kascha Dharanehe Redun Mimite. Who can count the grains of sand on the earth? Yasivam Hritragena Trijagadadimitam Modate Purna Sampat. The Vamana Avatara is a Veda Prasiddha Avatara, the Trivikrama, where the Lord measured the three worlds with his feet, is quoted many a times in the Vedas. So Bhattatri takes that Yasiva Ankhritragena, with 3 steps, Trijagad Abhimitam. The 3 words were measured with 3 steps, and therefore they are all filled with prosperity currently. All the 3 words, by the contact of feet with of Mahavishnu, they are all filled with sampat, purna sampat. Yoso vishvani dhatte priyamaha paramam dhama tasya bhiyayam tadbhakta yatra madhyanti. Yoso vishvani dhatte. So this person, this Mahavishnu who supports all those words, may I attain that supreme abode of his. May attain to that abode of Mahavishnu, where your devotees, O Guru Vairappa, your devotees there, they are enjoying Madhyanti. They are blissfully enjoying over there. What are they enjoying? Amrita rasam arandasya yatra pravaha. They are enjoying the honey of immortality. Amrita rasa is continuously flowing there. They are continuously there. Yatra pravaha, says the first verse. This verse quotes from the Rigvedic verse, which I will tell with the Yajurveda swaras. Vishnurnukam virgyadi pravoching yaf parthibadi mamera jagumsi. Starting from there, goes on to tadasya priyam abhipatho ashyam naro yattate vagyapo matanti urukramasya sahi bandhuritha Vishno pade parame madhva utsaha. Urukrama is a name for Trivikrama in the Vedas. Any place it's used. Uru means huge. Krama is the step that you keep. Urukrama is a humongous step that Mahavishnu keeps. Vishnonukam Virgyani Pravocham is exactly the same thing. Who can talk about the glories of Mahavishnu? Yaf Parthivani Vivame Rajagumsi. Whoever can measure the number of grains of sand, if they can count that, they might be able to talk about the glories of Mahavishnu. It's the same mantra that has been delineated as a verse here in Narayaneeyam. We'll move on to the second verse. Adhyaya Sheshakatre Pratinimisha Navayinaya Bhatre Vibhutehe Bhaktatma Vishtavegyaha Padishati Haviradini Yajnarchanado Krishtadyam Janmayova Vahadiha Vahato Varnayet Soyameva Pritah Purno Yashobhihi त्वरितम् अभिसरेत् प्राप्यमन्ते पदन्ते आद्याय अशेष कर्त्री. So that person who is the first Adya, he was the only one that was existing. The same adjectives Shankaracharya uses in Shivanjali for Parameshwara. Adhyayamita tejase shripadeir vedyaya sadhyayate nityanandamayatvanet jagatas samrakshanodhyogine. He who is the first Adhyaya, Ashesha Kartre, one who is the doer of everything, one who is the creator of everything. Ashesha Kartre, whatever is there is because of him. Shesha means something that is remaining. Ashesha means without any remnant, means everything completely. Ashesha Kartre, to him. Prati Dimisha Navinaya. Every moment he is new. Navina is new. What it means, it is fresh. His glory is itself. So many of you listening now would have heard Narayaneeyam from so many people. You have all done the Parayanam of Narayaneeyam so many times. But you still come and listen. You still go and listen to the glories of the Lord again and again and again. When you do an upasana, puja, every day it feels rejuvenating. Every moment it is fresh. Because that consciousness, that those glories have no boredom within them. Something that is natural is always fresh. Even in this material world, what is natural is usually very fresh. Every morning, if you see the sunrise, you would never get bored of seeing the sunrise. Oh, I've seen the sunrise many a time. What is that new in the sunrise? Every morning, the sunrise is as fresh. It gives you energy. If you look at a huge mountain, a pasture of grass, or a snow-clad mountain, or just the sky filled with stars, or the blue sky, they all give a sense of immense satisfaction. Something that you are one with the infinite. Nature has such an effect on us. Living in such concrete structures, closing ourselves within four walls, going from work to home and home to some other place, we have probably lost our touch with the nature. But you can always be one with the infinite. And it is always fresh. That is the beauty. Pratinimisha Navinaya is all the glory of the Lord. He is fresh at every moment. Pratinimisha Navinaya Bhartre Vibhute. He is the Lord of all glories. Bharta. Usually the word Bharta is used for a husband. And Bharya for a wife. Bharta is the one who protects his wife. Bharya is the one who takes care of her husband. So both of them take care of each other. He is Bharta for everyone. He is the protector of everyone. So Bhatre Vibhute Bhaktatma Vishnave Yaha Pradishati Haviradini Nyarchanado. So whoever performs his sacrifices and worship to Vishnu, Yajna Archanado, through oblations and other things, one who is devoted like that, only the devotee performs this to Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Or it could be that the devotee describes about various avatars, and especially Krishna avatara, which is there in front of me as Guruvayurappam. Krishnantyam janmayo va mahadihamado varnayet soyameva. Whoever describes the glories of Krishna avatara and other avatars, great glories, Preet of Purno Yasho Bihi Tvaritavabhisaret Prapyamante Padante. He will be extremely happy. Whoever performs devotion, either in the form of sacrifices, oblations, puja, rituals, or who just sings about the glories of the Lord, he will be, and his fame, he will be well renowned, full yashobhihi. And at the end of his life, he will go to that abode of the Lord and he will be one with that Lord. Such is his status. This is again just a couple of mantras after the previous mantra quoted. I do not know to recite the mantra, so we will move ahead to the third verse. Te stotarah kavindrah tamiha khalu yatha chetayadhve tathaiva vyaktam vedasya saram pranuvata jananopatta gathabhihi janantascha namanya kila sukhakarani sankirtayadhvam हे विष्णो कीर्तनाद्यैः तव खलु महतः तत्त्वबोधं भजेयम्. हे स्तोतारः कवीन्द्राः. Bhattacharya calls out to the various poets and people who think of themselves as poets. One of the commentators says Kavindram Manyaha. Kavindram Manyaha means those who assume that they themselves are poets. Nobody else has given them a certification. They themselves have given them titles and they are poets. So, he is Stotaraha, those who praise and those who think of themselves as poets. What should you be doing? Tamiha khalu yatha chetayadhve tathaiva. So all of you are using your talents, whatever talent you might have, for praising worldly people. Whoever gives you money, you praise them. Or for the sake of getting money, you are praising them. You praise the king or some other wealthy person, or you want something, you write some verse and you get it. That is how you are all using your laudatory verses. But do not waste your talents like that. Whatever talent you have, however you understand, praise the Lord in that manner. Yatha chetayadhve tathaiva vyaktam vedasya saram pranuvata. The summary of Veda, the juice of Vedas is here. Vyaktam. It is excellently present in front of you. Vyaktam vedasya saram pranuvata. Praise him. Jananopatta gathabhihi. Talk about his incarnation and his leela. All the various sportive deeds, talk about that. There is no end to that, as I have already told. Therefore, O poets, talk about all those things. Janantaschasya namanya khila sukhakarani sankirtayadhvam. Please understand his name, his nama. His nama itself has such a great mahima that it confers happiness, confers all the happiness. Akhila sukhakarani. Whatever happiness is necessary, all that kind of happiness it gives to you. Sankirtayadhvam. Chant that. Is use your talent in creating stotras just by namavali. Shankaracharya has already given you the method of doing that. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishnadamodaram Vasudevam Harit Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. That whole Achyutashtaka is just namavali. He's shown us the path that namavali itself is in us. Sankirtayadhvam. Recite them wholeheartedly. He Vishnu Kirtanabdihi Khalu Mahataha Tattvabodham Bhajeyam. By praising you, O Mahavishnu, by Kirtana and other various forms of devotion, Kirtanabdihi, says the poet. So he is referring to all the Navavida Bhaktis. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. All the 9 kinds of devotions is referring to as Kirtanadjihi. By doing such Kirtana, Mahataha Tattvabodham Bhajeyam. I will get the greatest of Tattvabodhas. I will get that I will realize my true nature just by singing these names of Bhagavan. What else is necessary for me? In about the 18th century, 17th, 18th century, there were two Mahatmas in Tamil Nadu. One was Bodhendral, Swami Bodhendral, and the other was Sridhara Yavar. My Bodhendral was a sannyasi and he was a exemplary devotee of Rama, and he has written granthas on Ramana Mahima and Nama Mahima itself. So he showed the greatness of Ramana Mahima. The same time as his contemporary existed Sridhara Yavar, who was a great Shiva Bhakta, he was a Grihastha. He has also composed many verses, many various granthas, and one of them is called as Akhya Shashti. Akhya means name, yes, means Nama. So he composed 60 verses just on the efficacy of the name of the Lord, and the name of Parameshwara. And the word Akhya in Sanskrita is a Strilinga pada. It's a feminine term. So he uses that feminine term to assume that the name of the Lord itself is like a mother. So just the name of the Lord is the mother. He is saying the Lord is immaterial. Just the name of the Lord is enough for me. Shivam Paramakalyanamanya Karunanidhip Tadakhyam Saukhyajarani Mande Vaktrartiharini. Mande Vaktrartiharini. Whoever speaks that name, he takes away all the distresses of that person. Arti Harini, Arti means some distress. She takes away that. Who? She refers to who? The name of the Lord. That's how he has composed a beautiful set of 60 verses called as Akhya Shashti. Like that, just do Kirtana of the names of the Lord. Kirtana Jihi Kadumahataha Tatvabodham Bhajeyam. Again, this is from the Vedic mantras that Kirtana should be done. And there also the Vedas say Tamustotarha Purjim Yathavida and so on. Vishnu karmani sampashyata manasi sada issa dharmanabadhrat jnanendrasisha bhrityaha priyasakaiva jadvyadarot kshemakari vikshante yoga siddha parapadamanisam yasya samyak prakasham viprendra jagarukaha kritabahunutayo yaccha nirbhasayante. Vishnu karmani sampashyata. Sampashyata is see it, meditate upon it, deeply dwell upon it on what? The great deeds of Mahavishnu. Yaisa dharmana badhnat, using which he established dharma. Dharma like protecting of sadhus, the destruction of the evil people, the cruel people. Like that he does this protection of dharma, establishment of dharma. How did he also act? Yani indrasya yesha bhrityaha priyasakaivacha vyatarot kshemakari. He acted as if he is the servant of Indra. In the previous Dashaka we saw Yadbhityo Devi Suryaha. Due to him, all the devatas scared of him are doing their own things, because he is the one who has put them in those positions. So Indra itself has been given that position by that Brahmastra. Now he has taken a form as if he is the younger brother of Indra in Vamana. During the Samudra Manthana, he takes the form of Kurma, as if he wants to help Indra in so many ways. So Bhritya Iva, Indrasya Yeshaha Bhrityaha Priyasakaiva cha. If he is a close friend, as if he is the servant of Indra, Vyatanot Kshemakari, for the welfare. For the welfare of Indra, you did so. Vikshante Yoga Siddhaha Parapadapanisham. Great yogis, they always see that. They are always seeing that Vishnu Pada. We will see that mantra shortly. All those great yogis have that Vishnu Pada inside themselves. They experience that continuously the supreme state. And Viprendra Jagarukaha, the greatest of Brahmanas who are alert, Kritavahurutayaha Yacha Nibhasayante, by singing many praises about you, they reveal that. They, with great fervor, they reveal that Pada of Mahavishnu. So the verse for this from Rigveda, these are some you might have heard. Vishto karmani pashyata yato vratani paspashe indrasya yujya sakha tad vishto paramam padagam sada pashyanti suryah divi vachakshuratatam tad vipraso vimanyavo jagrupagam sassamindhate vishtorgyat paramam padam. That greatest pada of Vishnu, Sada Pashyanti Surayah. Surayah refers to yogis, jnanis. They are always seeing that. Meaning once they are established in the jnana, in the Atma jnana, never moves. You can see this in the case of jnanis like Ramana Maharshi. If they are not interacting with anybody, it will seem like they are staring into space. That eyes of them, they have not lost alertness. They're extremely alert. But that whole alertness is concentrated in that it is a samadhi with eyes open. That is what the Vedas call as diviva chakshuratam. As if they are just lost and they are seeing the space. But what are they doing? Paramam padam sada pashyanti surayaha. They're continuously seeing that Parama Pada of Vishnu, which is nothing but that Atmajnana. That Vishnu Pada, they are just established in the Vishnu Pada. This is the same thing that comes in the Yam Brahma shloka also. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Tunmanti Viddhistavaihi Vedai Sanga Padakramo Vanishadihi Gajanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha. Those yogis see him when they are in deep meditation. Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa, with their mind completely contemplating upon him. Pashyantiyam Yoginaha. That kind of Vishnu, I also go down to say Tatri. No jato jayamano pita samadhigataha Vadmahimno vasanam devashriyamsi vidvan pratimudirapite namashamsami Vishnu tam tvam samstaumi nana vidhanti vachani dasya lokatrayasya pyurthvam vibhrajamane virajita vasatim tatra vaikuntha loke. O Vishnu, no jataha jayamano picha. Those who have already been born, or those who are going to be born, or those who are currently present also, none of them know the limit of thy glory. Your glory is infinite. Whoever it is, whether he is born before or after or now or whatever, how is he going to be able to measure your glory? He is not able to be counted. Vanmahimnaha avasan na samadhigataha. Deva, O Vishnu, Sheyamsi Vidwan Pratimuhrapite Namashamsami Vishnu. Therefore, knowing that if they are a Vidwan means if they know that they have a limitation, that they cannot tell all the glories of the Lord, they will chant your name again and again and again. Namashamsami Vishnu. Even though this is directly from the Vedas, seems like Gatri has just expounded Nama Mahima here. Namashamsami Vishnu tam tvam samstaumi. Therefore, I praise you again and again. How? By means of various hymns, like Narayaneeyam, like those the Veda mantras, or whatever stotras we know. Nana vidhanuti vachanaihi. various stotras and hymns. Asya lokatrayasya vyurdham vibhrajavare. You are residing beyond these three lokas. We have seen those descriptions in the 90th Dashakam and other places. Beyond the Satya Loka. There you are in the Vaikuntha Loka, resplendent. I will also come there very soon. And I praise that form of you. That Satchidananda Swarupa of yours. That Shuddha Sattva Swarupa of yours. Which is there right here in front of me also. The Guruvayur Murti is directly from Vaikuntha. So this dense consciousness, I am praying towards. This Sandrananda Rupa, I praise that. Avasrishtyaadijanyaha Prathamayi vibho garbhadeshe dadhustva yatra tvayeva jiva jalashayana hare sangata aikyamapan tasya jasya prabhote vidihitam abhavate padnamekam hinabhau dikpatram yatkilahu karakadharanibhrit karnikam lokarupam apaha srishtyaadijanya. The very beginning of creation, everything was abhyakta. That is, abhyakta means nothing has expressed itself, there is no creation, everything is in the subtle form. The causal waters come into existence at the beginning. Apaha srishtyaadijanya. So that is where Markandeya saw Bhagavan on the Vatapatra, on the leaf. He saw a small Krishna lying down. Those causal waters, which came into which came into existence at the very beginning of the creation, it held you within itself. Vibho garbhadeshe dadhustvam. In the womb of those waters, you were present. You were just reclining on that, and within you, all the jivatmas were present in their subtle form, in their causal forms. Tvayeva jivaha jalashayane sangata aikyamapanne. They were all one with you. They were held within you. They were merged in you. And then there was a lotus in your navel. Vinihitam abhavat padmamekam in abho. And the lotus emerged out of your navel. How was that lotus? The lotus had for its petals the 8 directions. Dikpatram yatkilahu. Each of the 8 petals of the lotus were for one of the directions. And the Mahameru mountain itself, Kanaka Dharanibhrit. Dharanibhrit means a mountain. The golden mountain, which is the Meru mountain, that became the pericarp of that lotus. Meaning that covering of the lotus. The thing that exists between the stem and this thing, that is called as the pericarp. So that is the Mahameru itself. So all this in the subtle and causal form was that whole lotus itself. That's what he means to say. So since this, again, the example is from the Vedas itself, it feels very abstract to say so. Ajasya nabhavadhyekam arpitam yasmin vishwari bhavanani tasthuhu. The Veda mantra. So from that lotus, from that causal lotus, emerges the whole of the creation. Is that is the stuti towards the Lord. Verse number 7. He loka vishture tadbhuvanamajanayate tanna jani chayuyam yushmakam hyantarastham kimapi tadaparam vidyate vishnu rupam nihara prakhyamaya parivruta manaso mohita namarupaihi prana prithye katriptastharathamakhapara hanta necha mukunde. Now, till the previous verse, he was calling out to Mahavishnu. In one verse, he called out to all the poets. Now, he just calling out to all the mortal men. And he's saying, hey, Lokaha. This whole creation, this whole Loka came from Vishnu. Do you know? You all do not know. Vishnu retad bhuvanamajanayat tanna jani thayuyam. You all do not know this truth. If you had known it, your behavior would have been very different. Also, do you know there is one more secret? Yushmakam hyantarastham. That Vishnu is present within each of you. Kimapi tadaparam vidyate Vishnu rupam. There is nothing other than that called as Vishnu Rupa. He is there within you. I have referred to Swami Madhusudana Saraswati previously once in this series of lectures. His magnum opus is the work called Advaita Siddhi. The first verse of Advaita Siddhi starts as Maya Kalpita Mahaprada Mukhamashadvaita Prabhantashrayaha Satyajnansuva and so on. It ends with Vishnu Vikalpojhitaha. There he uses the term Vishnu. Moksham prapta iva swayam vijayate Vishnu Vikalpojhitaha. Vishnu, there he uses it for the term as Jiva. This Jivatma, he gives the name as Vishnu. The word Vishnu is the second name in Vishnu Sahasranama. Vishwam Vishnurva Shankaraha. Adi Shankaracharya, who is given the bhashya for Vishnu Sahasranama, he explains what this word Vishnu means. He says, Veveshti Vyaproditi Vishnu. That which covers everything. That is the root for the word Vishnu. That which is as everything is Vishnu. That's what it means. That's why we use the same pada while doing jhana Vigneshwara also. Vishnu just means one that is omnipresent. That is present as everything is Vishnu. But Madhusudana, he uses it for the word Jiva. There he beautifully puts it. Moksham prapta iva. Once that Jiva realizes that he is that Satchidananda Swarupa, it is as if he has attained moksha, he says. It is as if. So do they not really attain moksha if you ask? From the highest standpoint of Advaita, there is neither bandha nor moksha. The ignorance that you are bound itself is ignorance. When that jnana arises, when the knowledge arises, you are freed. There is neither bondage nor is there liberation. Only if the bondage was real can liberation be accepted as real. But from the Paramarthika standpoint, we do not accept bondage itself as real. Bondage is an ignorance. You are ignorantly thinking that you are bound. So when you realize the Satchidananda Swarupa of this Atman, that is Vishnu, it seems like you have attained liberation. You are always liberated. Well illustrated by the Kantajami Karanyaya, where the necklace is always with you on your neck. But you are searching for it everywhere until somebody points it out to you. It was always there. You never got anything new. Nothing changed at all. Similarly, when that liberation is attained, the word attained itself is a misnomer where we think that we are going from one thing to another or there is a change that is happening. No. Moksham prapta iva. As if you have attained that moksha, because you are always mukta, you are always liberated, you are never bound. How can that Atma of the Shuddha Sattva Swarupa be bound? The Satchidananda Swarupa, how can it be in bondage? So understand that within you is that Vishnu. Yushmakam hyantarastham kimapi tadaparam vidyate Vishnu rupam nihara prakhyamaya parivrita manaso mohita namarupaihi. It seems like this verse has also been affected by Madhusudana Saraswati's verse, Maya Kalpita Madhuta Mukhamrishad Dvaita Prapanchashraya. So all the people's minds are covered by Maya like a mist. Just like there is a fog and you can't see clearly, like that Maya covers these minds. And we get deluded by names and forms, Nama and Rupa. This is what deludes us. The things. And this form and name for the thing deludes us. And everybody becomes satisfied with sense enjoyments. Prana prityega triptaha. Prana here refers to all the indriyas. That is also Vedic notation, where pranas refer to indriyas. Prana prityega triptaha. All the people are towards sense enjoyments only. As if that is the only goal. Maghabara atha triptas charatha maghabara hamdanicha mukunde. And your only intent on performing some kind of sacrifices for the sake of desires. You want to attain something, you perform some sacrifice for the sake of it. Vedas are there, they say it. So I want for the sake you are performing sacrifices. But you have no desire for Lord Mukunda. That's not how you should be. You cannot discard away your desire for Mukunda. You have to hold on to his feet. This is similar to Purashekharalvar in his Mukundamala. He also calls out to all the people and he says, hold on to these names. Hey Lokaha Shududam. He also begins very similarly. Oh, the world, listen to me. All the people listen to me. Prasuti Maranam Vyadhes Chikitsa Mima. I will tell you the medicine for going beyond this cycle of birth. And it is not that I am not saying. All the rishis previously have said, I am just repeating it to you. Yogivnya samudaharanti munayo yam yajñavalkyadayaha. Yajñavalkya and the rishis have said this. I am just repeating it for you. Antarjyotir ameya mekam amritam. Antarjyoti. That jyotis which is present inside you. Ushmakam hi antarastham. That swarupa which is there. Ekam amritam. It is singular one, and it is immortal one. But what is it? Krishnakhyam. It has been named as Krishna. Abhiyata. Drink it as much as you want. It's like Shuka says, drink this Bhagavata Rasa. Krishnakhyam abhiyata. If you have drunk that once, Tatpitam Paramaushadham Vitanudate is the greatest of medicines. Nirvana Matyantikam. That is the cessation of all sorrow. A complete removal of all sorrow. Atyantikam Nirvana. So drink that name of Lord Mukunda. What a pity you are all not drinking. Mudhnam akshnam padanam pahasikadu sahasrani sampurgya vishvam taprotkrmya pitishtan parimita vivare bhasi chittantarevi bhutam bhavyanja sarvam parapurusha bhavan kincha dehendriyadishu avishto pyudgatatvat avrita sukharasam chanubhumkshe tvameva. You have, again referring back to Vishnu, you have thousands of heads and arms and eyes. The Vishwarupa of the Lord is thinking and he is saying, Murdram Akshnam Padana, thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, and thousands of feet. And you just fill the whole universe. Sampurgya Vishwam. And then you go beyond that. Because that Atma Swarupa is beyond space. You say you are filling this, then again it is limited by space. It is not, space exists within that. The concept of space and time itself is a part of Maya. So you just fill the whole universe and you are beyond it also. Tat prokramya pitishtanne parimita vivare bhasi chittantare. But you also dwell inside the limited space of the heart. In the previous verse, it was said, Antarastham Vishmakam hi Antarastham. And the Vedas also say, Guham Pravishto Parame Pararthe. So he exists in that cave of the heart. So you are beyond the whole universe and you exist in the cave of the heart also, in the limited space of the cave of the heart. Parimita Vivare, he says. He is just poetically bringing in a kind of a paradox. That paradox is what the Shruti also says. Anoraniyam mahato mahiyan atma guhayam nihitosya janto. The Upanishad say, you are within the smallest of the small, within the atom, the most subtle of the subtle, and you are the most macro of the macro. Mahato mahiyan. But where are you? This Atma, guhayam nihitosya janto. It is within the cave of the heart. Kanchi Paramacharya, he gave a beautiful explanation for this. This is a very paradoxical statement to understand. How can something be the smallest of the small, most minute thing, and the biggest of the big? Gives a very simple explanation. Yes, there is one lady who comes with her son, and she introduces her son like this. He is the youngest of my youngest son. He is the eldest of my eldest son, and he is the middlest of my middle sons. If she says this, that means that person is the only son. There is no other son for her. So there is only a single tattva. This mantra reveals that Advaita tattva like that. That is why Bhattatri, because this base of the Vedas, he is also using those paradoxical words. Parimita vivare bhasi chittam tarevi bhudam bhavyancha sarvam parapurusha bhavan. You are the past and the future and the present and everything. And you are the person who has entered this body, the sense organs, as the jiva itself. Avishtaha api. And you are the person who goes beyond them and enjoys the bliss of liberation also. As Madhusudana Saraswati said, that Vishnu itself is like the jiva, and as if he has attained liberation, he enjoys the bliss of liberation also. In the Bhagavad Gita also, just before the end, Bhagavan says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. So that Ishvara is there in the heart of every person, giving that energy, impelling everyone with his strength. He is the strength for everyone. Just like machines, I am running everyone, he says. Yantrarudhani mayaya. As in putting them on a machine and running them, that is how I. And then he says, Tameva sharanam gaccha. Surrender yourselves to that inner being, that consciousness, that Satchidananda Rupa. Sarva bhavena bharata. Oh Arjuna, surrender yourself completely to that being. And by surrendering yourself, what will you get? Tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. By that prasada, that Atma Swarupa, you will get the greatest of peace. And you will get that shashvata sthana, the stable foundation from which you cannot be moved. That Vishnu pada you will get, which pada the yogis are meditating upon, that pada will be upon you. This 8th verse, we know many of us will be familiar with the mantra behind that, which is from the Purusha Sukta itself. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwado Bhutva Atyadishtad Dashakulam Purusha Yevedagum Sarvam Yat Bhutam Yatcha Bhavyam Bhutamrtatvasyeeshanaha Nivar Ashokavattanvi Pitabha Swatyanupama Tasya Ashikhaya Badhe Parava Atma Vyavasthitaha. That is how the Rigveda mantra goes. Paramatma is present within each, as that says the Vedic mantras. The ninth verse, Yattu Trailokya Rupam Dadhadapi Chatato Nirgato Nanta Shuddha Jnanatma Vartasetvam Tava Khalu Mahima Sopitavan Kimanyatem Stogaste Bhagayeva Kila Bhuvanataya Drishyate Triyam Shakalpam Bhogishtham Sandramodatmakam Paritato Bhati Tasmai Namaste. So you are the person who appear in the form of all the three worlds. Trailokya Rupam Dadhadapicha Nirgataha Ananta Shuddha. Again, you are beyond all the three worlds. You are immanent in every being. Immanent means present within everything, but at the same time, you are transcendent. You are beyond everything. That is the beautiful conception of our philosophy, where Bhagavan is at the same time immanent as well as transcendent. And we have seen the examples before with other udaharanas. We have seen how he is both immanent and transcendent. So you are also beyond them as the infinite bliss. Nirgato ananta shuddha jnanatma. As the pure consciousness, you are beyond everything. And your glory is infinite. Tava khalu mahima sopi tavan kimanyat. How much ever, as much as you are infinite, your glory is also infinite. In all these worlds, whatever we see, it is only a small part that appears, less than a quarter that appears. Stokaha means a small part. Eva akhila bhuvanataya drishyate triyam shakalpam. More than 3/4 of it, bhugishtham sandramodatmakam paritato bhati tasmai namaste. More than 3/4 of it is beyond our conception. And that is that Shuddha Satchidananda Swarupa. Salutations to that infinite being, says Bhattatri. This again from the Vedic mantra, Yetava Nasya Mahima Ato Jayagascha Purushaha Pado Osya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Divi. We cannot, that much his Mahima is Yetavan, it's infinite. But that Purusha is beyond that, beyond these three lokas. Padosya Vishwa Bhutan. 1/4 of it is all that glory that we see. Whatever you can perceive, whatever is there, all the Vedas and Purana, how much ever is less than a quarter. Tripadasya Amritam Divi. More than 3/4 of that immortal thing is beyond it. That can be realized only when you realize that Atma Swarupa. Chapter 3, he goes on to 10th verse. Abhyaktam te swarupam duradhigamatamam tattu shuddhaika sattvam vyaktam chapyetadeva sphutam amritarasam bodhikallola tulyam sarvotkristam abhishtam tadiha gunarasenaiva chittam harantim murtinte samshrayeham pavanapurapate pahimam krishnarogat. That Abhyakta Rupa of yours, Nirguna Swarupa of yours, is extremely difficult to grasp. Only those who have the Chitta Shuddhi Adhikara for that can grasp that Murti. Bhagavan also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kleshaha adhikatarastesham abhyakta sakta chetasam abhyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhiravapyate. For those who are identified with this body, it is very difficult to keep their mind on that Abhyakta Swarupa. Extremely difficult. So, Duradhigatatamam Tattu Shuddhaika Sattvam. But that form which is constituted of pure Sattva, which is that form, Guru Vayurava. We saw in the first Dashaka itself, Sattvam Yattat Parabhyam Aparikalanataha. That Sattva Swarupa which is not at all mixed with the other two. That pure Shuddha Sattva Swarupa, Vyaktam, that is very evident in front of us. That Avyaktam Swarupam is Duradhigatam. That I cannot do anything. I am not able to grasp that. But this form constituted of pure Sattva that is in front of me can be easily grasped. It is there right in front of me. So he clearly shows that this Nirguna and Saguna aspects like the two sides of a coin. What is to be attained, even though it is Abhyakta Swarupa, I will hold on to the Saguna Swarupa that will give me everything that I need. Sputam Amrita Rasambodhi Kallola Tulyam. This is like that wave in the ocean of bliss. That is this manifest form that is there right in front of me. We again saw this example in the last discourse, where Shankara Bhagavad takes the same example. Satyapi Vedapagame Nata Tabaham Namamaki Nastum Samudrohi Tarangaha Kvachana Samudro Natarangaha. I am like the wave and you are the ocean. We both are same as the water, but I am yours. I surrender to you completely. Sputam Amrita Rasambodhi. What is that ocean? It is the ocean of immortality, it is the ocean of nectar. Sarvotkristam Abhishtam Tadiha Gunaraseneva Chittam Harantim Murtim. I therefore surrender myself completely to that form of yours. Which form? This Guruvayurappa form, this form of Krishna, which is my Ishta. I surrender. Murtim te samshrayeham. That is the greatest form. Sarvot Krishna. Hey Pavana Purvate, hey Guruvayurappa, they eradicate all my ailments. Protect me from all these rogas. And this way, he gives the foundation, he gives the introduction to the 100th Dashaka, the Saguna Dashaka, where he is going to see the immaculate, resplendent, glorious form of the Lord right in front of his own eyes. We will see that wondrous description in the final discourse next week on 25th May. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda. Hara Namah Parvati Patage Hara Hara Mahadeva Sadguru Swaminaha Jai. Yato mamatma bhavasittvameva tato na bhajyam mama kinchidastin yathartaveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvamatmanatham ramanam bhajami.